Hello, it's Bev again, and this video is my entry into Mr Finglish's competition, or contest rather. This is my entry into his contest, which is his 100 subs autumn-winter themed contest. So Mr Finglish is at Bad English RECS, that's his channel, and you will find the link below. And if you're not a subscriber to him, subscribe. He's got a really good channel, shows lots of interesting stuff. He's from Finland, so he shows quite a bit of Finland bands from that part of the world. And I want to say, Mr Finglish, congratulations on your 100 subs mark, and I think you've passed that now as well, and no doubt your channel's going to keep growing as well. And so I'll get into this now. Mr Finglish has asked you to answer 4 questions, and after that he's got a bonus question as well if you can answer that one. I'll attempt it. So we'll see how we get on. So first up, the first question was, show an album that you you feel fits with the season autumn or fall, as America calls it. I'm calling it autumn because that's what it's called here. You know, the leaves on the trees change, etc. And nights get colder, or the light fades a bit earlier at night, etc. Chill in the air. So what albums that you feel you kind of like to listen to when it's cooler and darker and you just want to be in warm and shut out the cool, cold darkness? And well, there's a few albums I've kind of picked that, to be honest with you, I could have picked anything because I don't really associate my music with seasons really, unless it's Christmas specifically, or Easter I guess would be the other one, because you know there's specific songs for that. But generally, so I had to think about it, and I've picked out a few that I think would be kind of nice for this kind of time of year. I'm going to start off with showing this. This is just for the sake of showing it. This isn't really my own. This is my dad's, and it's the Mamas and the Papas Hits of Gold, because right away the first song that comes to mind when I think of autumn is California Dreamin', which I think everybody will know is a great song. But it's, you know, it's the lyrics in it when it goes, all the leaves are brown and the sky is grey. I went for a walk on a winter's day, so it's kind of autumn going into winter. That reminds me of autumn. So, you know, I thought I'd pick that right away, and just for the sake of showing some vinyl, this is my dad's issue from, I don't know, is this 1968? And it's on Stateside Dunhill, label EMI. Nice condition it is. So yeah, I thought I'll just show that to get started. So my own answers for, let me just get them here, autumn, that I've decided I'm going to pick. I think I would tend to warm to this one. This is a great CD, and it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and it's his greatest hits, which I've had. It came out in 93. I think I've had it since about 93, 94. And this is a great CD. It's got 18 songs on it, and it's got all these great classic hits, you know. And I think that some of the Tom Petty work, as we all know, I'm sure, or most of us appreciate it. Great songs, you know. You've got American Girl, you've got Refugee, you've got Don't Do Me Like That, I Won't Back Down, Running Down a Dream, Free Falling, Learning to Fly, into the great wide open. You know, there's everything on here. So, and I think that's just a nice, good album for just being in the house and watching the nocturnal weather outside and the leaves falling. Another one I decided I would pick up is Susie Bogus. She is a country artist. She's American, and this is her album titled Give Me Some Wheels. I discovered Susie Bogus back in the early 90s as well, and I picked, I don't know, it must have been country music television or something when we first got cable TV. And she must have shown her face up on there, and I think it was her voice that caught my attention. She's got a fantastic voice, really crisp, warm voice, and the songs on this album are just really nice, kind of country, rocky, upbeat. I think you get a good feeling when you listen to her stuff, so that would be another album. And another one which is always a good pick-me-up, if you're feeling a bit blue and want a bit of cheering up, then this is what you need. And it's the Georgia Satellites, Let It Rock, the best of. This has got 20 tracks on it, and this came out about 93 as well. This was a blind buy for me back in 93, I think this came out as well. Yeah. 1993, blind buy, and I was blown away when I put this on the CD player. It's fantastic, really fun, kind of a hint of country, southern American rock. Really good. The lyrics are hilarious in some of them as well. It's just really good. Strong voice, strong guitars, great riffs. So yeah, you want a mood lift, this is what you put on. That's my 3 autumn questions. Now, winter, show an album or an album cover or name a song reminds you of winter. Well, there's, for the most part, all that I could, what came to mind most is Christmas, basically, for obvious reasons. And again, regarding Christmas and Christmas music, for me personally, it's now at the stage where I cannot bear to listen to Slade's Merry Christmas Everybody. I can't stand it. And Wizards, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. I'm at breaking point when I hear these, because they are constantly played to death. Another one that I'm getting fed up with is Wham's Last Christmas. I think it's because nobody seems to make Christmas songs anymore. There was, back in the 70s, 80s, people wrote a song specifically for Christmas, but it doesn't happen now, so I don't really listen to them. But this one I'm going to show is a bit of a different one. This is from the Nature Quest series, and it's Sleigh Bells and Snowflakes, and it's got a nice wintry scene there. And this is an album where you get church bells chime, choir voices, wildlife, birdsong, hooting owls, howling wolves. It's kind of one of these relaxing type CDs, but it's all they're infused with classic Christmas carols such as Sleigh Ride, Little Drummer Boy, White Christmas, What Child Is This, Deck the Halls, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, Reflections on Joy to the World, Christmas Medley, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, O Holy Night, and Silent Night. So these are more traditional, what's the word? What is the word I'm trying to get? Carols and just Christmas, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so I've gone with this one because this is far more pleasant for me to listen to now than the overplayed pop stuff that you get. Another album I've actually gone for, which does make me think of winter, I guess, in a way. Well, the album cover kind of makes me think of a bit of a coldness, and this is Runrig. Now, Runrig are a Scottish band. They've actually just played their last ever farewell gigs back in July. They played their last gigs. They've been going since, I think it was 1973, and they hail from the Highlands and Islands away up in the north of Scotland. And this is a picture. That's the band standing there somewhere up high, looking across some of the harsh Scottish landscape. And usually in these places, especially in winter, if you're standing there where these guys are standing, it'll be freezing cold, blowing a howling gale, and you'll be wishing you were by the fireplace in your house with a cup of tea or in a nice cosy pub somewhere. But the band, this is called Alba, the best of. Alba is the Celtic Scottish, it's the Gaelic word for Scotland. That's what Alba means in Gaelic. So that's my other winter. And question 3, recommend an album that I think Mr Finglish might like or will not have heard or be aware of. Well, it's another Scottish band. I'm going to recommend this one. This is a band called Wolfstone, and the album is called The Chase. And these guys, these are kind of folky Celtic rock music. They have guitars and drums, but they also have fiddle, the violin. They have a bit of bagpipes. They have a bit of they've got like kind of flutes and things. There's another one I'm trying to think. I can't remember, but yeah, there's but it's a very cool album. It's very enjoyable. I tend to play this a lot on Hogmanay, which is New Year's Eve to most other countries, just because it's kind of a Scottish thing. It's a heritage kind of thing, you know. Hogmanay and New Year was traditionally a Scottish holiday. This album dates back to 1992. You have 10 tracks, and the band, I'm just going to check it out here. Yeah, Duncan Chisholm, here's the band, plays the fiddle. Ivan Drever, vocals and guitar. Struan Eaglesham, keyboards. Stuart Eaglesham, vocals and guitars. And Andy Murray, electric guitar. Guest musicians, you have a guy called Dougie Pincock, yeah, on the pipes, on the flute and the whistle. So yeah, these are some of the other. And the accordion was the other one. There's an accordion that appears on Jake's tune. Phil Cunningham, who plays it, and he's well known in these parts for folk traditional music in this part of the world. So, yep, I would very much recommend you check this out. And if you do, let me know what you think. I'm very curious. So that's my pick. Question 4. What do people around me in my world think of my record collecting hobby? For the most part, I think most people are fine about it. They understand, they get it, because most of the people around me are either from my generation or older. My parents certainly get it, because my dad was very much into music, so was my mum, but my dad collected records himself. My brother, you know, he and I grew up in the 80s, got into that, started collecting records, moved on to the CD. So for the most part, most people I talk to get that, and I think it's a pretty cool thing that I've recently got back into the vinyl and the CDs. I mean, my hi-fi equipment behind me, this is all newly acquired. Some of it is brand new, some of it is 80s models, which I'll maybe do a video on that at some point. But I'm loving the musical thing. We got rid of our original hi-fis, all of us, Dad, brother, myself. We got rid of our original 80s stuff, equipment years ago, thinking we're not going to need it anymore, you know. DVDs came along, the internet came along, MP3s, all this, you know, digital streaming, what it is now. But, and you know, it was a case of you would listen to your music with the headphones, and I don't mind that occasionally, but I don't like listening to headphones all the time, because I think in the end your ears will get tired and possibly they're more prone to damage. And you know, the older you get, the more you want to preserve things like your hearing, because for the likes of myself, music means so much. I just wanted to hear it around the house. So another good reason to get the stereo system again. There is one chap in my work who's younger than me. Initially he didn't understand the whole collecting physical records and physical CDs. He's Spotify is his world for music. He loves music. He's into metal and all kinds of extreme metal, black metal, obscure metal, that doom, everything that I don't know much about, but he's good for information. And he introduced me to Sabaton. But he was born in 1989. Now that was the year that Sweet Child of Mine came out, and you know, we were all playing the LP or the CD of Appetite for Destruction, and he just come into the world then. So he started growing up in the 90s, and into the 2000s he would probably be becoming more familiar with stuff musically, and by that time, you know, the vinyl and the hi-fi era was gone. So he's a Spotify buff. He has everything downloaded. He understands the artwork part of the vinyl because he's into the artwork of a lot of bands and stuff. He appreciates that side of it, but doesn't really get the whole physical, whereas we do. But I pointed out to him once, because we were talking about books, and he says, oh, I don't like the Kindle, I prefer the actual proper book with the paper. And I says, well, that's the same thing. Oh, that's my dog just dropped in to see me. He says, that's the same thing. And says to him, I like the physical record, you like the physical book or the magazine. The paper is a vehicle that transports your words, whereas the vinyl is a vehicle that transports the audio signal. So he says, oh, well, yeah, you've got a point there. So that's that. For the most part, everybody's kind of cool with that. Bonus. A Finnish band that you like and why? Well, I wasn't too familiar with many Finnish bands. I was aware, however, that Hanoi RECS originated. They are from, or were from, Finland. Although Hanoi RECS I never really got into back in the day. However, in today's world, I am going to name Nightwish as probably my favourite, if you like, band from Finland at the moment. Now I'm fairly new to Nightwish. It was the same chap at my work. He introduced me. He kind of pointed me in their direction. And but I don't have anything of Nightwish that I can show yet. I haven't actually got any of their material, so I don't own it. But they're obviously they're symphonic metal, progressive style, and I believe they've had a couple of different singers. I think, is it Floor who is the current singer? I know a lot of people really like her as the female singer, and I think there's a chap that sings as well. But I listened to some of their stuff and quite like bits and pieces of it. But as I say, I'm just new to them, so I can't say too much about them, but from what I've heard so far, I find it quite interesting. So that's what I would say for my pick for favourite Finnish band and why. They sound very interesting, and the symphonic is a kind of a classical type of hint type influence, I think, which I like in music anyway, so that'll be that. So this is now 20 minutes. I think I've babbled on enough, sorry about that. But hopefully this is good enough to be an entry for your contest. And everybody else, if you're not subbed to Bad English RECS, well then you know what to do, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye just now.